What's up, YouTube? Boy, that's so back again for another video, man. Today we got a video uploaded by Cosmic Wonder. This one, X-Men are permanently coming in Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness. How they stay in the MCU. So apparently he's got the scoop, and they are indeed coming to the MCU, and they're going to be here to stay. So let's see what Warren has to say about how this is going to take place. That rhymed. I had to play her. Hit the game. If you know what that is. Shout out to him, man. Big inspiration. But anyways, with that being said, we're going to check this out. Before we get into it, though, y'all let me know down below in the comments. How was your day? Hopefully it was pretty good, but if it wasn't, hopefully this makes it just a little bit better. Let's go.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Cosmic Wonder, where we talk all things Marvel and MCU. I am your host, Warren Thompson, and today we're talking about something very, very exciting and important. Mutants in the MCU. Now, the official trailer for Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness showed us that the Illuminati is going to be introduced in the film, and the mutants or X-Men are going to be introduced as well. Now, X-Men in the MCU is something that we've wanted for an insanely long time, but there is a big theory, a very, very important theory that you need to know that states that the mutants could already be in the MCU. And I know a lot of theories out there have been talking about this lately. However,
the House of M type story where the no more mutants, but it was done like a long time ago when we all forgot. I think that's what he's gonna say.
This is the original theory that I think makes the most sense, and it's coming from my buddy Greg Alba over at The Real Rejects. Now, I really, really like this theory because it kind of plays off of the House of M storyline, but it switches it up because we know that Marvel Studios never really goes word for word, story for story of what the comics actually do. They switch it up a little bit. So this, I actually think, could be the most accurate theory out there. Now, Greg hasn't really gotten credit for this theory, and he really should, because it's a really great theory. He took a lot of time putting the effort into coming up with this theory and connecting all of the dots. So today I'm going to switch it up. He usually reacts to me. I'm going to react to him, and we're going to talk about his theory because it's really, really good.
I actually haven't watched his video. I just know what he was talking about. I say like the first minute, and I just got the general gist of it, but I didn't actually watch the video. So this will be my first time watching it as well.
If you haven't already made your way to his channel, checked out the theory, do that now. Go ahead and like the video. Come back here and let's talk about what exactly this means. So Greg posted this theory 2 weeks ago, February 6th. Let's take a look at what it says.
MCU timeline we've been watching for the last 13 years. No more mutants has already happened. Like I said, I know this sounds like a bit of a reach. However, I think this would answer some questions we've had about the MCU. Questions specifically regarding the events of WandaVision. I think it would better help reintroduce X-Men and mutants into the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And with this phase after WandaVision, Loki, even the trailer for Moon Knight, this is called Multiverse of Madness. This is the mind-bending phase of the MCU. What more of a mind bender would it be than to reveal to us that mutants were already there and that the actions of the Scarlet Witch erasing the existence of mutants already happened. Dive into this with me. Spider-Man No Way Home. That shows it's possible to erase people from the world's memory, including Doctor Strange, via forgetting who Peter Parker was. Spoilers for Spider-Man No Way Home. What if this movie
too late to say that,
the
but
next step further? Since WandaVision was announced, everyone has been looking to the House of M comic book. That's like the go-to source material to better understand and perhaps predict what might happen in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Now, that's an important comic, but the comic that I'd recommend looking into is actually one of the follow-ups to House of M, X-Men Endangered Species. In that comic, after the existence of mutants has already been reduced from millions to only hundreds around the world, Hank McCoy, aka Beast, set
when you're younger.
Yo, this is creepy. What the heck? What's the old girl name? Zendaya?
out on a journey to find a way to reverse the spell Wanda cast. And along this journey, he eventually meets up with Doctor Strange, who tells him exactly this. What she did completely changed reality, that it's nearly impossible to see where reality ends. And her alteration of
She's so powerful, man.
She cast her spell over billions of souls, over worlds and dimensions. Reality has been consumed by her spell. The magic is woven through everything, welded to all there is. So in the source material itself, Doctor Strange declares her spell affected worlds and dimensions, i.e. the multiverse. I tried rhyming that, it didn't quite work. So the main rumor, ever since this movie was announced at Comic-Con, is that Wanda Maximoff will be the main villain of this movie. And another rumor that's been circulating is that the Illuminati might be featured in this movie, and they would essentially act as protectors of the multiverse. Which they are here to stop multiversal threats. With this being a Doctor Strange movie, with the few appearances that we got of Scarlet Witch, and a movie about traveling the multiverse, why would Wanda Maximoff be considered the ultimate threat to the multiverse? Is it because the Illuminati believe in witchcraft lore? I don't think so. Maybe this is the real reason why Agatha Harkness, who once possessed the Darkhold, which grants access to the multiverse, told Wanda, "You're supposed to be a myth." So am I saying that we're in some repeated time loop where the Wanda we've been with the whole time has already done this? No, I'm not saying that. Loki has already introduced us to variants. So as we saw in the setup of that show, a variant of our protagonist was considered a multiversal threat.
Right.
Okay.
And this is the biggest part right here. Okay. So I'm not going to show you Greg's entire video because I want you to go watch it because I feel that he really deserves to get the credit for this. So I will link it down below in the description in the pinned comment. Go watch this video by Greg over at the New Rockstars. But here's the very important part that he talks about. And
no, he said New Rockstars. No. Two completely different channels with completely different hosts. Real rejects, I'm sorry. Warren, buddy, gotta get some sleep, man. You're making mistakes. I'm just messing.
He did this video before the second trailer for Multiverse of Madness, the first official full trailer, came out.
Right.
It actually really proves this theory pretty accurate. He talks about the Illuminati coming in and being kind of the protectors of the multiverse, which is what I've always talked about for, over a year now, I think. Now, the Illuminati comes in, and this is where things get really, really intense and really important. Now, we hear who we presume is Patrick Stewart's Professor Xavier say we should tell him the truth. Now, we also see, to Greg's point here, variants. We see a Wanda or Scarlet Witch variant. These are two really, really important things, and I believe that they connect to each other. Doctor Strange goes in front of the Council of the Illuminati, and Patrick Stewart's Professor X says we should tell him the truth. What is the truth, right? Now, a lot of people are kind of linking this to the Scarlet Witch right now, but what Greg does is he links it to the fact that the Scarlet Witch could have already said no more mutants in a different universe. Now, as Greg pointed out, this means that it could be affected across the entire multiverse and not just in one universe. The comics kind of made that clear that they don't really know the extent of it, but it really affects everything, and it's probably
that could actually make
the same way in the MCU. Now, here's the twist, and it's a really good point to Greg's point here. It's probably not our Wanda who said no more mutants, because how could she really know about mutants? She didn't really know that she was the Scarlet Witch. But we see a different variant, and this variant looks pretty dang intense in the trailers. So the theory here is that this variant said no more mutants, and that's what the truth is that Professor Xavier is referring to. And now the biggest threat to the entire universe is this variant of the Scarlet Witch, and now our Scarlet Witch, because we can assume this variant is kind of getting in her mind and kind of controlling her a little bit, making her a little bit more evil. But
I just can't wait to watch this movie.
It makes a lot of sense because, as Greg goes on to talk about, there would have to be a lot of things kind of retconned into the MCU if we wanted to bring the mutants in at this point.
There's a lot of things you gotta explain.
Wouldn't really work because the mutants have been around since pretty much the creation of humans. In the comics, the Celestials created, and we just kind of saw this in the Eternals, but they created the Eternals and the Deviants. But mutants also came out of this in the comics. Now, they didn't mention that in the Eternals, but it could be because the existence of mutants have been erased, because we can't have mutants be a part of the very beginning of time and just say, hey, they've been there the whole entire time, but we haven't talked about them. That doesn't really make sense, because especially if you take to the comics.
And then Spider-Man No Way Home was a perfect movie to show that this could take place, just like he said in the beginning.
There's a lot of stuff that's against the mutants. There's kind of a racism against mutants. People hate mutants, right? Now, you can't just ignore all of that, but we can have people remember that mutants have been around the whole entire time and they don't actually like mutants. And that would kind of solve the problem of bringing the mutants in right now. So to me, this theory actually makes a lot of sense. Wanda does say no more mutants, but it's not our Wanda, and it happened in another universe. Now, I still think our universe is the main MCU timeline. I've heard some other theories that state like, well, maybe we're living in a pocket universe. No, I don't think that's true. I just think that we're exploring the multiverse in this very specific movie. I think we can discover that multiverses and universes are affecting other different universes now. That's what this movie really is all about.
Right.
Now, Greg does bring up an excellent point. Not too long ago, Kevin Feige released a scene that was never released before, a post-credit scene for Iron Man 1 where Nick Fury mentions mutants. Now, Kevin Feige does everything with full purpose, and he knows exactly what he's doing.
That was a while back, wasn't it?
Super far in advance. So he absolutely did this because the mutants were coming. Now, when he released this, the Fox deal had already been done. They have the rights to the mutants at this point. So they have planned for the mutants to come, which further proves that things are about to get pretty serious in Multiverse of Madness. They are going to bring in
Marvel
some
just has all this stuff set out and planned. It's crazy. The minds behind
our mutants
Marvel
and our
Studios.
Universe to the MCU.
Been
Perhaps
thinking
they
about
were
this
there
stuff for a while.
the entire time, and I kind of think that they were, and I kind of think that after this movie is done, perhaps we'll get a reversal of this spell, and mutants will now exist in our universe. But what do you think?
If that reverses that spell, you think it's gonna reverse all spells in the sense of like maybe that's how? Nah, I don't think so. Because I was about to say that'd be a little too early to just reverse the whole Spider-Man incident, because you don't want people to. I mean, it's only been one movie. Nah, it's been no movie since that. So it'd be a little too early to kind of reverse the whole No Way Home thing. But this is interesting, man.
Like this theory, I personally do.
This holds some water to it, and I think it'd be really cool to see.
Give it a like and give them a subscription if you have.
Definitely gonna watch the full video.
And of course, don't forget to like my video and subscribe so you don't miss out on any of the latest Marvel news. For live updates, you can follow me on Instagram and Twitter. And as always, thank you all so much for watching. Woof woof.
All right, we have it here from Cosmic Wonder. Yeah, man, this theory holds a lot of water to it. Like I said, I saw when Greg had dropped his initial theory, whatever, and I watched like the first minute or so, and I just kind of like I got the gist of it, and then I saw like other people kind of mention this idea, so I just kind of like already put it together in my head. I didn't take it all the way to the whole like it was another Wanda and another multiverse type thing. I didn't think about it that way, but yo, that's crazy, bro, and it holds water. It's like I can see them totally doing this. Oh my gosh. Y'all let me know down below in the comments, man. What are your thoughts, theories, and ideas? I'm definitely going to watch Greg's full video over at The Real Rejects, not the New Rockstars channel. Anyways, y'all let me know down below in the comments. What are your thoughts on this? Make sure if you haven't already, go to Cosmic Wonder's page. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Go to The Real Rejects page. Watch the initial video, the original video. You know what I'm saying? You can also like, comment, share, and subscribe. Come back up here, do the same thing. I don't have to tell you again, do I? Maybe I should like, comment, share, and subscribe. Follow me on Twitch. Follow me on YouTube. And also follow me on Instagram at LeroySays. So same to YouTube channel. That being said, peace.